to start the last game ever in this Ole Miss softball complex. And away we go, and it's a strike call. Johnson, of course, the hero yesterday. How clutch was that?
Oh, that was huge, especially with 2 strikes.
And I mean, you could have popped the balloon here when it comes to the atmosphere. I mean, it took the wind out of the entire Ole Miss crowd.
Yeah, it sure did. And again, just a devastating loss for Ole Miss. They had the win in their pocket and just couldn't close it out.
It's what good teams do, and Alabama did just that, and they're going for the sweep today. Ole Miss obviously trying to salvage one game in this series and at the same time try to help out their NCAA resume.
That's right, and help out their cause for next weekend, like you pointed out, for the SEC tournament.
Yeah, they want to stay out of that 12-13 game on Tuesday night. 1-2 the count to Johnson, and Johnson sends one to Lassiter for the first out, and that's how we start today's game. Defensively, Ole Miss will look like this. We know Lassiter is in center. You got Whitley and Furbush on the other sides. And then around the infield, it's Sykes and Alley, and then Kamoku and Paige Smith. And Jamie McKay is catching today after the first 2 games in this series were caught by Lexi Brady. So here's Larissa Pruitt, who is, as I mentioned, on fire. How about 5 for 7? And make it 6 for 8.
She just pokes this ball out. I think it hit on the end of the bat. Might have been a changeup thrown by Caitlin Riley. And when you got luck, you got luck. And she's had this one find a way for another single.
Doesn't it seem to happen that way when you're hot at the plate? You get some of those breaks as well?
Oh, absolutely.
So here's Ashley Prange out of New Palestine, Indiana, hitting over 300 on the year. Prange having a good series as well, 3 for 5. A run scored and an RBI. She had 3 walks yesterday. So that on-base percentage soaring. Started the day at 413 for Ashley Prange, a senior. Rebels today going with Riley in back-to-back games, just like Alabama did, starting this series back-to-back with Montana Fouts.
Well, Caitlin Riley has really been their go-to this year. She's had a lot of success out in the circle for Ole Miss.
And that one is chopped into left field, a base hit for Prange. She's 4 for 6 now in the series.
Just another seeing eye single. Like you said, she chops it into the ground right out in front of the plate. It finds its way into that 5-6 hole. Back-to-back base hits for Alabama.
So the Crimson Tide have something brewing here in the top of the first. And a quick conversation in the circle.
It's similar to what we saw on Friday, where Alabama jumped out to the early lead. And yesterday, Caitlin Riley shut them down.
As you compare the 2 years for Riley, almost identical with the innings pitched, but you see the ERA, more than 1 run less this year. And she had her moments last year, but she has been really steady after missing a lot of the season to start with.
Well, yeah, the first month she was out, and since she's come back, she's really done a great job.
Facing Bailey Dowling here, the junior, hitting right at 300. 299 starting the day with 8 home runs. This one's chopped to Kamoku. She will flip to Alley, and they get the force on Prange, and Dowling reaches on the fielder's choice. That's nice base running by Prange to tap the brakes.
Well, absolutely, because it prevents from getting a double play. So many base runners will run right into that tag, and so it was a great job by Prange.
And here's Cahalan. Kenley Cahalan, and she's got runners at the corners with 2 outs. You mentioned Friday night, Alabama scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second. And with Montana Fouts, that's a pretty good equation for Alabama, especially the way Fouts was dealing. Only 67 pitches. We saw perfection Friday night.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's what we've come to expect from Montana Fouts. She's such a fierce competitor and just does such a great job out in the circle.
Well, she'll get the pop-up to Allie, and Bama leaves 2 on base. Defense to try to salvage 1 game of this series. And Salter's first pitch is upstairs. 1-0 the count to Jayla Lassiter. So Lassiter, the only Rebel to have multiple hits in this series. Ole Miss has had just 3 in the first 2 games.
Well, we saw her yesterday put pressure on this Alabama defense by laying down a bunt, a successful bunt for a base hit. We talked about it on Friday. You have to find a way to get on base, and she did that yesterday.
This one's rolled to the left side. You got to hurry with Lassiter gunning down the line, and it's safe. The throw looked like it was in time by Cahalan. Did Broadfoot take her foot off the bag?
Well, I think that's what they're calling, and first base coach Autumn Gillespie calls it right away. It looks like she pulled it a little bit. See from this angle. Either way, it was a bang-bang play, was it not?
Oh, absolutely. And Lassiter can really scoot down that line. Good job by our crew, led by our director, David Dillard, and looks like we're going to have a review. Coach Murphy wants to have this one looked at a little closer. And, of course, the call on the field is safe at first, so keep that in mind. Here you see Jamie Traxel talking with Tanya Cash, who is our first base umpire today. Scott Mayer, by the way, is behind the plate, and you've got Ronald White at third base today.
I'm not sure what the challenge is or what the conversation is here. Either you challenge or you don't challenge.
Now they've changed it. After talking it over, they are saying that Lassiter is out at first.
Well, home plate umpire Scott Mayer should be following that play and should have been able to see whether Broadfoot's foot was on the bag. So, guess that's what that conversation was.
So there ended up not being a review. And Alabama gets the out on Lassiter, which is big. Now here's Whitley. 0 for 5 so far in this series. We talked about Lassiter having 2 hits. She was 2 for 5, now 2 for 6 in the series. Paige Smith has the only other hit in this 2-game set so far. And, of course, Montana Fouts threw a perfect game on Friday night and a complete game 3-hitter yesterday. Whitley bounces it right back to Salter, who defends her position quite well. Here's how the Crimson Tide look defensively. You've got Johnson, White, and Pruitt. And then Frange, Cahalan, Hevelin, and Broadfoot around the horn. And Marley Giles again catching today. In case you were not with us on Friday night, Ellie Shipman took a couple in successive pitches off the mask. She did not play yesterday, is not in the lineup today. In fact, she's not even here today. So we wish her the best in her recovery. I know Alabama wants her back for that SEC tournament. That's coming up in just a couple of days up there in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Paige Smith with 2 outs and nobody on. He lines one, but right to Pruitt. And a 1-2-3 inning for Alex and 14. And yes, he has racked up his share of wins. Riley here in the top of the second will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. That's Broadfoot, Giles, and Hevelin. Broadfoot has had an excellent series as well, 3 for 6. A run scored, and she has driven in a run as well. Transfer from North Alabama. She has walked 18 times this year. She won't walk this time, but she sends one to deep right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And it's a stand-up double for Emma Broadfoot. She keeps up her hot hitting ways this weekend.
Yeah, just a pitch that is down in the zone. And she goes down and gets it and drives it out to right center field for a stand-up double. Good job hitting.
Third double of the year for Broadfoot. And a leadoff double against Caitlin Riley. Crimson Tide coming in to today's game. They've hit .315 this series. 17 of 54. Ole Miss just 0-68. 3 for 44 against Montana Fouts. Bunt, perfectly done. Smith fires it to Kamoku. And a successful sacrifice for Marley Giles.
Patrick Murphy playing a little small ball early here, trying to get a run on the board. Giles does a good job, and the only play for Paige Smith is at first base.
So a runner at third with only one out, and an RBI single to left by Kaylee Hevelin. And the Crimson Tide jump out to the early lead.
Yeah, first pitch swinging here by Hevelin. It's just right over the heart of the plate, and she takes that ball and drives it to left field, scoring the first run of the game for Alabama.
So Hevelin delivers. And Riley has given up a run, something that she did not do until the 7th inning yesterday. And there's been some traffic as well on the base path so far in the first 2 innings for Alabama. There goes the runner. The throw by McKay is a little high, a little late, and a stolen base for Hevelin.
We seen Alabama challenge the catchers for Ole Miss this weekend. Lexi Brady has had some really good throws, some questionable umpiring calls at second base on those steals, but
again, small ball, and again a successful sacrifice, this time by Kristen White. And so Hevelin now at third with 2 outs.
like you said, well, they're playing some small ball, putting pressure on this Ole Miss defense by laying down some really nice bunts, putting runners in scoring position and getting the key hits that they're needing, just like Patrick Murphy had said on Friday that he wanted to accomplish this weekend. Key hits.
Well, this young lady sure had a key hit yesterday, that 3-run homer that broke the hearts on senior day here in Oxford. Riley, though, will take care of her this time. But
Benz, former head coach at Minnesota, just done a tremendous job here at Ole Miss.
Yeah, she's done a nice job fighting for postseason play. This weekend, they're trying to prove why they're a tourney team. So Stevenson is leading things off, followed by Sykes and Alley. Salter set the Rebels down in order. Stevenson hit 8th on Friday night. She's 0 for 5 in this series. Montana Fouts had 15 strikeouts in the 2 games combined. She got Stevenson one time on strikes. Alabama playing a little small ball in the top of the second. That was what Ole Miss did yesterday. They put some pressure on thanks to a little small ball and took that lead on Montana Fouts.
That's right, with the help of a couple of errors by Alabama.
Two and two now the count. Crimson Tide out to the early advantage here. And just trying to pad that resume. Right now they've got 5 top 25 wins. Stevenson smashes one to third. Rangi takes care of her for the first out. So 4 up, 4 down against Alex Salter. Here's another one of the seniors that enjoyed senior day yesterday. Some nice pregame festivities. Out of Douglasville, Georgia. Played her first 4 years at Georgia, and this is her first year here in Oxford. Her plans after this season, like stay within athletics. I like that.
Absolutely. It's just the best atmosphere.
She has been steady Eddie also over at third base for the Rebels. Right now she's got to guard the dish. 0-2 the count. There's a drive to deep left field, and it's gone. Some showers out in left. And Savannah Sykes has just tied this game at 1.
Well, that was a missile. Line drive shot over left field. This ball is just right over the heart of the plate. Savannah Sykes just takes it and drives it. Like I said, line drive shot over the left field fence to tie this ball game. Exactly what Ole Miss needed today to get the huge crowd out here going and hopefully sparking some more offense for Ole Miss.
Pretty good time for your first home run of the year.
Yeah.
First home run as an Ole Miss Rebel to tie it. Nationally ranked Alabama in the regular season finale. That's the 14th extra base hit this year for Sykes, but her first time that she dialed long distance. Here's Allie, another senior. Kind of a senior row right now. Whitley, Smith, Stevenson, Sykes, Allie. 5 in the order, all seniors. 5th year at Ole Miss and former scholar athlete. And she will reach base as her shortstop counterpart had a little difficulty with that one. That was Cahalan. And as you can see, she tapped that chest of her. My bad. So the first error of the game. And the third this weekend for Alabama. There's a line shot. Foul down the right field line by Ansley Furbush.
Ole Miss definitely putting the bat on the ball today.
Had a couple of ground outs and a fly out in the first. A ground out to start this inning. But then Sykes hit a rocket out to left, and now Allie reaches on the air. Furbush, the only junior in the starting lineup for the Rebels here today. She's got 5 long balls this year. This one's skied into short center field. And that's White taking care of her for the second out. Here's Kayla Kamoku. Hitting 8th today for Jamie Traxel. And there's a drive to deep center field. How about that catch? As Kristen White just stole a home run. Saw to lose, and for a win here today in Oxford for them to get that double bye.
So many ifs.
Yes, a lot of different scenarios.
So many what ifs.
And it's our job to provide all the ifs and maybe complete some of the sentences. But that's kind of neat, though. A lot of things happening even on the last day of the regular season.
Yeah, but it's tough when you're a team and you're hoping for somebody else to lose, so it'll move you up. You always want to try and determine your own destiny.
Riley here in the top of the third gives up a base hit to Pruitt, but how about the throw? Gunning down Pruitt as she tried to turn it into a double. Nice play by the Ole Miss defense. Furbush out in right.
Yeah, it almost looked like it was going to get by Ansley Furbush in right field, but she makes a great play to snag it, almost like a first baseman, backhanding it and then making a nice throw to Michaela Ali at second base for the out.
Boy, how about the defense that we've seen already today? It's unbelievable Wem Gems throughout this 3-day series.
Yeah, we saw Tate Whitley rob 2 home runs on Friday, and then today we see center fielder Kristen White snag one from Kayla Kamoku.
Yeah, I thought Kamoku, along with a lot of other folks here at the complex, thought that she had her 7th home run of the year, but like you said, Kristen White with some other ideas. And here's Ashley Prangy. She singled her first time up. This one sent right to Furbush on the SEC Network. 2 outs, nobody on for Bailey Dowling. He bounced into a fielder's choice, her first at-bat today. And by the way, with that Mississippi State loss to Auburn, if Ole Miss can win today, they should be able to stay out of that 12-13 game. And there's a sky to left, and Whitley takes care of Dowling. So keep in mind the top 4 seeds get double byes in the SEC tournament, and you see Tennessee, Georgia, 1 and 2. Auburn, with that win, they wrap up a top 4 seed. Alabama now needs a win and an Arkansas loss to get that double bye. As for Ole Miss, here's the bottom 4. Mississippi State has lost, so they're right now at 7 and 16. And Ole Miss win today, and they stay out of that 12-13 matchup on Tuesday night. So you are up to date on what is transpiring here on this last day of the regular season. Salter facing the 9 1 and 2 hitters, McKay, Lassiter, and Whitley here in the bottom of the third. Will Kohlmeyer, Missy Dickerson hanging out for the last time this year. Last game ever here at the Ole Miss softball complex. We hear the construction. Everything will start on May 25th. Of course, that schedule that could change, but they'll start transforming. That one's low.
Well, at least they're doing it this year.
Yes, that's right.
And we're not just saying that it's going to happen like we did last year. It really is going to happen. They're ready to go. Like you said, demolition is scheduled for the 25th.
There's a base knock up the middle by McKay, her first at-bat of the weekend. From that game on Tuesday night, this one's popped up by Lassiter. It will get out of play. Always an exciting time.
Best time of the year. Love postseason.
This SEC tournament, obviously, there's going to be a couple favorites, but I think there could be some magic as well. A lot of parity this year. And there you see all 12 games on the SEC Network or on ESPN2 with that championship game on the 13th.
Well, we saw Tennessee yesterday claim the regular season. Oh, there'll be a tough matchup, but, and again, you're in Arkansas's home field, so that always makes it tough. Should be an interesting series, interesting tournament. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no doubt. Lassiter now at the plate with a 2-2 count. Whitley is on deck. In case you just joined us, Jayla Lassiter in the leadoff spot today for Jamie Traxel. Normally that belongs to Tate Whitley. To second to Force, and the relay not in time to get Lassiter, but McKay is forced at second. Lassiter reaches on the fielder's choice.
Just too much speed there from Jayla Lassiter to be able to turn that double play, but a good job by Cahalan to get the lead runner.
Yeah, smart play by Cahalan. Flipping it over to Hevelin to get the force. And here's Tate Whitley trying to butt her way on. It's a beauty, but a nice play defensively by Broadfoot.
Well, we see Ole Miss playing some small ball now. Getting Jayla Lassiter over to second base and scoring position.
For Paige Smith. And she pops one up. And taking care of. We talked about this complex opened in 1998, but then it had some upgrades in 2005, and that was your first year here, Missy, as the head coach.
That's correct. The press box, the chairback seating, the indoor facility.
Riley here in the top of the fourth, facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Cahalan, Broadfoot, and Giles. Cahalan this year hitting .413 when she leads off an inning. And she sends one to deep left. Whitley can't quite catch up to it. And it's going to be a leadoff double by Kenley Cahalan.
This ball's up in the zone. Really not too bad of a pitch by Caitlin Riley. But Cahalan just takes it, and we've seen Tate Whitley make some fantastic plays in the outfield, but just out of her outstretched arm for a double.
So when we talk two baggers, Shipman tied for first in the SEC with 15, and now Cahalan with 14 doubles. That's third best in the conference. Of course, Allie Shipman, after getting injured Friday night, has not played the last couple of games. Giles is behind the plate here today. She is on deck. Right now it's Broadfoot at the plate. Broadfoot had a double herself to lead off the second. Came around to score on Hevelin's base hit. That gave Alabama the 1-0 lead, and then Ole Miss answered in the bottom of the second on Sykes' solo blast, her first home run as an Ole Miss Rebel. Broadfoot now 4 for 7 in the series. And that's brought that average up. So currently 283. That one got past McKay. And now Cahalan is at third with nobody out. Great opportunity for Alabama to take the lead here in the top of the fourth. Crimson Tide already with 6 hits against Caitlin Riley. That one's yanked foul by Broadfoot. Hitting .283, but just .237 with runners in scoring position. Has a chance to up that average. That one just misses.
A pretty pitch there by Caitlin Riley on the outside part of the plate. Home plate umpire Scott Mayer didn't agree, though.
2-2 the count to Broadfoot with Giles on deck. Crimson Tide really struggled yesterday against Caitlin Riley, but so far today, they're 6 for 12 at the plate.
They're being more aggressive today, swinging at that first pitch strike.
And there's, oh, what a play by Kamoku. How about that stab to take a base hit away from Broadfoot? But Cahalan will score, and it's an RBI ground out by Broadfoot.
Yeah, what an amazing play by Kamoku. Almost looks like this ball's going to go out into to right field, and she just lays out and stabs it and makes the play at first base.
Yet another terrific defensive play in this series. And you're right. I think Broadfoot thought she had an RBI single as well. She still gets the ribby. And for Broadfoot, that's number 14 now on the year. But Kamoku in front of a lot of family in town this weekend from the islands. Enjoyed visiting with all of them before the Friday night broadcast. I understand you ran into her dad today.
Dad and mom today.
Oh,
Visited
dad and mom,
with them
okay.
a little bit before the game. Yep.
That one off the glove of Sykes. Allie picks it up, but no chance to get Giles at first. And so Giles now on base with 1 out.
Just off the glove of Savannah Sykes. Michaela Ali tries to make that throw, but just not in enough time.
So here's Hevelin.
I think we're going to see a pitching change here. Well,
Yep, Jamie Traxel talking with Scott Mayer. RBI single back in the second to give the Crimson Tide the early advantage. That ribby was her 15th of the season. That one's upstairs by Cleathermos. She came in relief of Brooke Vestal in that Friday night game. Rebels took one of those pitching by committee approaches on Friday nights. Of course, Vestal with that spin rate of hers. Then you go to Cleathermos. You're maybe trying to, you mix it up going from one speed to another. But Alabama scoring those 5 runs in the first 2 innings.
yeah, you're not getting a whole lot of speed difference between Cleathermos and Caitlin Riley.
No.
Just different pitch specialties.
There you go. She's got a 2-2 count on Hevelin with Kristen White on deck. And that'll run the count full. 3-2 the count. You're going to press the accelerator and maybe send Giles. There she goes. It's popped up out of play, and we'll do it again. Thought that might be the approach by Patrick Murphy. Staying aggressive, right?
Absolutely. But they called Giles out at first base for leaving early.
He did leave early. So now there's 2 outs. Nobody on. And Hevelin with a 3-2 count. Fly ball, deep left. Whitley giving chase. Will it stay in the park? No, it will not. And a solo home run by Callie Hevelin. For Hevelin, that's the 6th time this year that she's dialed long distance.
Well, and I'm sure that Pat Murphy is not very happy with Giles, because that would have been a 2-run home run if she hadn't left early at first base. But just a great job by Hevelin getting all of this ball, skies it. There's no chance for Tate Whitley to steal this one.
Yeah, Whitley had a couple robberies on Friday night, but she could not bring this one back. Hevelin put a nice charge into it. And it's now 3-1. Let's look again at Giles leaving early. Oh, yeah.
Oh, very. That wasn't even close.
And you're right, Patrick Murphy was not happy with Giles, because that would have been a 2-run shot and a 4-1 lead. He still has a 2-run advantage at 3-1. Kristen White stole a home run earlier this game from Kamoku. She sacrificed her first time up. Rebels will have Stevenson, Sykes, and Alley coming to the plate, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the bottom of the 4th. That's fouled. Okay, cat-like quick, getting up quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, awfully fast getting up to get that ball and throw out White at first base. Ended up being foul.
Close the book on Riley. 3 2/3, gave up 2 runs. They were both earned. Clee Thermos trying to get the Rebels out of this top of the 4th, trailing by only 2. Nice at bat by Kristen White. She fell behind 0-2. Clee Thermos usually finishes the deal with 2 outs. Opponents are only hitting 157 against her. Trying to close this inning out here in the top of the 4th. And there is strike 3 called. We're halfway home, but Alabama, 59 of those obviously at Marshall, who was a standout for the Thundering Herd. Rebels trying to get this leadoff hitter on base. McKay did just that last inning. After the leadoff hitter was retired the first 2 innings for Ole Miss. Salter has only given up 1 run on 2 hits. What's impressed you the most?
Well, they've been hitting her. It's not like they're not putting the ball in play, but the Alabama defense is just doing a really good job. And for the most part, she's getting ahead of the Ole Miss hitters, working the zone, mixing speeds. She's definitely different from Montana Fout. She's not going to power the ball by you. She's going to work her pitches and work the zone, and that's what we've seen her do today.
Stevenson. And Emma Broadfoot takes care of her for the first out. Here's Savannah Sykes' spectacular Sunday solo shot. That tied it at 1 last time she came to the plate. But no comment on all the alliteration?
I thought you were going to do it.
Well, I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. That's our director.
Sunday Savannah Sykes solo shot. How's that?
Yeah, very nice. So is this base hit, very nice by Sykes. David Dillard, by the way, gave me the heads up on that one.
Yeah, that was great.
Jack Robertson, I need to be corrected. It was Jack that came up with it, gave it to Dillard, and then Dillard transferred it to me. So that's the communication on how we got that alliteration on Sykes. But she's 2 for 2.
That's right. A solo shot and a single.
Oh, I like that. You know I'm a big fan of alliteration. Seems like everybody does now, which is okay.
A lot of S's in there.
Yeah. Another senior, Michaela Alley, playing her most likely her last game here in Oxford. Boy, it was set up, wasn't it, yesterday? The senior day, and then the Rebels just 2 outs away from winning the game. And there's Michaela coming through with a base hit. 2 on with only 1 out.
Definitely what Ole Miss needed is consecutive base hits, station to station, getting the job done. Now we need to see what happens here with the meeting in the circle. Will that man go out and visit with Salter? Ainsley Furbush, who you just said was up, has really come in some key situations for Ole Miss this season with some big hits. I'm sure that was a little bit of the conversation with Salter. How to pitch against Ainsley Furbush.
A couple of walk-offs for Furbush. Last one, she called game on April 21st in that Rebels 8-5 win over then number 21 Texas A&M. Smashed that walk-off 3-run homer. And now a quick conversation with the hitting coach, Katie Rekovich, Router. So Katie's conversation is over. Earlier this season in Mexico, Furbush took matters in her own hands. She threw all 8 innings, stranded 12, that 3-2 win against Liberty, and then she hit the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 8th. TC OYB, taking care of your business. That was I started throwing out some letters, and I saw you trying to compute. Where's Komeyer going with this one?
Ah, well, you just never know. Now we see Salter getting behind here on Furbush. 3-1 count. Hitter's pitch here for Furbush.
It's now 3-2. So you got 2 on, 3-2 count. How aggressive will Jamie Traxel be? I know it's tough to steal third. But she will get Furbush to fly out to left. Jenna Johnson makes the play. And they throw back to second. And Sykes is safe.
Sykes almost too aggressive on that play.
Coming for the Rebels, the second baseman, number 3, Kayla Kamoku.
All right, here's Kamoku. Some highway robbery her last time up. The throw to third is not in time. Very nice job by Sykes. Saw the ball get in the dirt, and she took off immediately.
Yeah, really good job being heads up there by Sykes. Ball scoots away from catcher Marley Giles. And we saw Kamoku last time at bat get that home run stolen from her in dead center field by Kristen White.
I've caught a lot of softball, but I don't remember in one series. I know in just the 2 games that we've called, that's 4 at least that have been taken back and taken away from hitters, home runs.
Yeah, it's been quite the weekend for stolen hits, stolen home runs.
Kamoku with 2 now in scoring position. That's upstairs. She has come on strong as of late.
Well, when I was speaking with her dad the other day, I said, where's all this home run power coming from? And he said, just going back to old school, what she'd been doing when she was in Hawaii.
How about that? You know, coming into this series, she was hitting .378 in her last 13 games.
Good job by Giles there to keep that ball from getting past her and saving a run.
The offense had been hot in the last 13 games before Montana Fouts. There's a swing and a miss. Oh, what a big strikeout for Salter and the Rebels. Ole Miss needs to win. If they do, if they could come back, then they would be out of that 12 versus 13 game. If they lose, they'll be playing Tuesday night. So the leadoff hitter, Jenna Johnson, will lead things off here in the 5th. They've got 4 innings in the books. Golden opportunity there for the Rebels. But how about a perfect time to get your first strikeout of the game for Alex Salter, to get Kamoku, who's been on a tear, to end the inning with 2 runners in scoring position. Clee Thermos came on last inning, gave up a solo home run to Hevelin, and then she struck out White looking. That was the first strikeout today by Ole Miss pitching. Riley went the first 3 2/3. There's a strike called. Johnson 0 for 2 today. She is now 2 for 8 in the series. But boy, that one of those 2 hits was mighty large. That 3-run homer to win the game yesterday in the top of the 7th. 3 of those 4 ribbies. Johnson with a fly out to center and a grounder back to Riley. And there you see the comparison in SEC play starting today. Look at the improvement with that batting average from last year to this year. It's almost 60 points better. This one just foul. Clee Thermos. 6-6 on the year. She has a really good strikeout to innings pitch ratio, 1 per inning. She's got 91 Ks now in 91 2/3 innings, but she's given up 59 walks so far this year. She's got a 2-2 count to Johnson. Alabama with 7 hits against Ole Miss pitching today. 3 of them have gone for extra bases. 2 doubles and then that home run by Hevelin.
Heads up, Ole Miss dugout.
No doubt. Another outstanding crowd here today. Good crowds all 3 days here in Oxford for this regular season finale weekend series. Look at some of the crowd. It's a little, yep, they're fanning today. A little warmer day here at the ballpark, and there's a single to left by Johnson to lead off the 5th inning. They always do such a terrific job. Oh, that one got past McKay. And now Johnson is in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. So Johnson with the base hit, then goes to second on the wild pitch. And Pruitt, who is 2 for 2 today, she's been on fire this weekend.
She is definitely seeing the ball well this weekend.
How about 7 for 9?
Not too shabby, right?
That's incredible. And that batting average now is up to 283. It has soared this weekend in Oxford. Freshman out of Hartselle, Alabama. Both these teams, they've got their share of talented freshmen, that's for sure. Clay Thermos has to be careful because you've got Prangy on deck and then Dowling. Clay Thermos trying to keep it a 2-run deficit for Ole Miss. Off the glove of Cleathermos, and that will easily allow Johnson to score from second. And Pruitt now 3 for 3 today with an RBI single. Johnson makes it 4-1, Bama.
Just another pitch that's too much over the heart of the plate. And Pruitt, with as much as she's been on fire this weekend, just takes this ball and drives it up the middle. Cleathermos got a glove on it, but not enough to knock it down and keep that run from scoring.
Big run there. Now 4-1 Alabama, and Prangy at the plate. Prangy is the transfer from Ohio State. From Buckeye to Crimson Tide. 1 for 2 today. Line stab by Sykes. The throw back to first is not in time. Yet another terrific play defensively.
What a great job by Savannah Sykes. Just reaching out to her right and snagging this ball. And then having the heads up to throw it over to first, but not in time to get Pruitt.
Wow. Sykes robs her third base counterpart, Prangy, and that would have been extra bases. And with Pruitt scooting from first, that might have made it 5-1. There's a little flare into center field, a base hit by Dowling. Pruitt will stop at second. Third hit of the inning for the Crimson Tide. Dowling's first hit of the day. She's 1 for 3 now.
Alabama just being so aggressive today at the plate. Another first pitch swinging by the Tide. Another base hit. 10 hits on the day.
Just impressive. Two on with one out here in the top of the fifth. Cahalan, who led off the fourth with a double, came in to score on the Broadfoot RBI groundout. His scheduled situation for Furbush, 2 on with only 1 out. The Crimson Tide have already added to their lead here in the top of the fifth. 4-1 now. You just don't want to dig too deep of a hole, do you, with this Crimson Tide team if you're Ole Miss?
Oh, absolutely not, because Alabama doesn't take their foot off the gas. They're going to keep putting the pressure on, keep swinging the bats. So you have to find a way to shut it down. We knew that this weekend that it would be pitch by committee for Ole Miss, and we're seeing it here again today with 3 pitchers.
Yeah, Riley, she was just dynamite yesterday with that drop ball. This one's out of play. She fed her defense well, lots of ground balls. But today, a little different story. Alabama has made some adjustments, obviously. Sometimes you see that second time through a lineup, but they made some nice adjustments from game 2 to game 3 in this series.
Well, especially when you're facing off against the same pitcher that you saw the day before.
Cahalan lifts one to left. Whitley, long run, and she makes the catch for the second out. Yeah, they made the adjustments that they needed from game 2 to game 3 against Caitlin Riley.
Well, we kind of saw it yesterday with Ole Miss making the adjustment a little bit on Montana Fouts. Coming in, throwing a perfect game on Friday, and then Ole Miss gets the lead on her yesterday. The never say die Alabama mentality. Come back and take game 2.
Yeah, I think yesterday even Jamie Traxel was talking about that. Had to put some pressure on the defense, attacking early. She knew that Fouts would be around the zone. Doesn't walk many.
Finding a way to get on base and make something happen.
That one gets past McKay, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position. Yeah, Traxel was concerned about making sure that the Rebels don't get buried in the count. That's what happened on Friday night.
Well, typically when Ole Miss is at their best, they're getting that first pitch, strike, and taking advantage of it.
There's a fly ball to center by Broadfoot. Lassiter makes the catch, and the Crimson Tide.
Pat Murphy looking to change the look at the plate for Ole Miss.
So Torrance is in after Salter went the first 4, gave up 1 run on 4 hits. She did a nice job leaving 2 in scoring position in the 4th. Here's McKay leading things off in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. McKay, Lassiter, and Whitley against Torrance. Just the 3rd pitcher used all weekend long. Of course, Montana Fouts with a couple complete game victories on Friday and Saturday. Salter went the first 4, and now Torrance.
Well, it's good to get them some work before heading into the conference tournament. You don't want to have to use Montana Fouts for every game. Not to mention, like I said, it mixes up. You're getting a different look, different velocity, a good complement between Salter and Torrance.
McKay had a base hit her first time up. If Fouts threw 67 pitches in that perfect game on Friday night, then 97 yesterday in that complete game 3-hitter. 15 strikeouts and no walks for Fouts. You see why she's got a great shot of being a 4-time All-American. I'd vote for her. Wouldn't you, after what we saw this weekend?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout her career. McKay just trying to get something going for Ole Miss. They're running out of innings. Rebels trying to get one of these 3 against number 14 Alabama. And McKay lifts one to right. Pruitt went back a bit and then came on to make the play for the first out.
Top of the order for the Rebels, now batting the center fielder, number 1, Kayla Lassiter.
Lassiter 0 for 2 today. Now 2 for 7 in the series. She had a nice defensive play yesterday. I think would have been one of the MVPs for Ole Miss if Johnson doesn't hit that 3-run homer and Ole Miss wins that game 1-0. She got it done at the plate and then made a terrific catch out in right center.
Well, you've been talking about it. We've seen some phenomenal plays defensively in this weekend series. Definitely would make my highlight film.
Showed bunt, pulled the trigger back, and that is a strike called. And now Lassiter got to guard the plate at 0-2. Rebels today so far against Alabama pitching 4 for 17 at the plate. Alabama is 10 for 22. They just keep so much pressure on you. They just keep on putting base runners, a lot of traffic, a lot of stress.
Absolutely. It's one of the keys to their success is just, like you said, putting pressure on the defense. Although in talking to Pat Murphy before the game today, he said sometimes they have a little luck of the Irish. It made me chuckle.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah, maybe luck doesn't hurt. That's the old adage, rather be lucky than good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's good.
Yes,
They're good.
Yes, definitely.
And when you get a little luck, then you become really, really good. And they're hoping to continue that next weekend up in Fayetteville. Alabama going for win number 39 on the year today. If they can hang on, they'll be 15-9 to wrap up the regular season inside conference play. That one back to Torrance. He takes care of Lassiter for the second out. Better have some good reflexes if you're in the circle.
Absolutely. That was a rocket back to Torrance. Makes it look easy.
Kate Whitley had a sacrifice bunt her last time up. 3:28 right now. Her 5th and final season here at Ole Miss. Made that all-freshman team. We knew then that she could have a chance at a sparkling career, and she's done just that. Nice bunt, but Alabama defends it nicely, and that takes care of Whitley and the Rebels. We've got 5 of the producer Jim Holder and the rest of our SEC Network crew. Glad you're spending a Sunday afternoon, the last day of the regular season in the Southeastern Conference. We appreciate you watching. And you've watched Alabama, again, take care of business, Missy. What stood out so far in the first 5 innings?
Well, they're just being aggressive at the plate. First pitch swinging on strikes, and this is putting pressure on the Ole Miss defense. Playing a little small ball here and there. Just doing what they need to do to pull out a victory.
Yeah, the last time these two men in Oxford, it was all the way back in 2017. The Rebels won that series 2-1. Different story this weekend, although a rally by the Rebels late in this one would give them at least one of the three this time around. Again, slap foul by Giles. It's been a series that's been absolutely dominated by Alabama. They've now won, I think, 65 out of the 71. Yeah, 65-6 in their games against Ole Miss. Giles 0 for 2 today. Oh, check that 0 for 1. She had a sacrifice bunt back in the second, then reached on an air. The only air of the game for Ole Miss. That was back in the fourth. Giles catching again today for Allie Shipman. Pops one up. Allie, no problem at short for the first out. Allie Hevelin coming to the plate, and this is what happened last time she was up.
The ball was high and deep, and no way for Tate Whitley to steal this one.
No. It's now 7 home runs in her career. Yeah, you can't fill out a police report on no robbery this time. She had a couple of them, though, on Friday night.
Absolutely.
Evelyn, as I mentioned, 2 for 2 today. She's now 3 for 5 in the series. That's a good weekend. Of course, tough to top Pruitt. 8 for 10. 8 for 10. That's impressive in wiffle ball. I mean, I don't even know if you can even do that in wiffle ball, much less against SEC pitching here in softball. But, wow, Pruitt has had a weekend. And she came in not exactly knocking the cover off the ball, but she has regained that stroke this weekend here in Oxford.
Well, it's a good opportunity to have some feel-good at-bats right before you head into the conference tournament. They're definitely going to need her stick.
And she came in hitting 237. There's a strikeout for Furbush on Hevelin. First K of the day for Furbush. And she has retired all 4 batters that she's faced. Kristen White is the scheduled hitter, but I think we're going to have a pinch hitter for Alabama. Looks like Dukeshire, Abby Dukeshire. So Dukeshire hitting for White here in the 6th. She's had 5 starts this year. Had her first career hit against Indiana. An RBI double back on February 11th. Another one of those freshmen for Alabama.
Oh, we see Jamie McKay take one off of the mask. Saw that on Friday with Allie Shipman.
Even Patrick Murphy was saying yesterday he'd never seen that. And how many games has he coached in his career or played in his career? I mean, you're talking about back-to-back pitches off the mask. Alabama taking a cautious approach to Shipman. Let's look at this again on McKay.
Right off the top of the mask. It never feels good.
You're dealing with a sinus headache, Missy. How about that headache? When these, I mean, come on.
No, thank you. It makes you wonder if that's why we haven't seen Allie Shipman for the last 2 days.
Yeah, I think so. And you got, I mean, there's a lot of important softball coming up for this Alabama team. Obviously next week in Fayetteville at the SEC tournament, but then beyond and in the NCAA tournament, trying to make another deep run, the Crimson Tide. Dukeshire swings and misses. 0-2 the count. Ole Miss pitching has yet to retire all 3 batters in an inning. There's a swing and a miss, and the first 1-2-3 inning for Ole Miss pitching. Rebels need some runs as they head to the bottom of the 6th. The first baseman for Alabama, Emma Broadfoot. One quick out here in the bottom of the 6th, and I mean, what do the Rebels have to do? What's the remedy for this deficit now at 4-1?
Well, they got to start putting the ball in play and obviously get some runs on the board. Play station to station. Throw a little small ball in there if you need to, and move some runners.
Yeah, with the that 4-1 lead, you got to get 2 runners on base for the tying run to come to the plate. How about that play at short to get Stevenson? Kenley Cahalan. That is not an easy play, but boy, she made it look easy.
Not at all. She does a great job of going in the hole to get this ball. Falling back, which is tough to get anything on that throw, but she gets enough on there to get Maya Stevenson at first base. Not bad for a kid who should be a senior in high school, right?
No, I know. She should be picking out that prom dress. Instead, she's taking care of business in the SEC, playing a critical position for Coach Murphy and his bunch. 2 outs quickly here in the bottom of the 6th. Rebels down to their final 4 outs. Sykes at the plate. 2 for 2 today. She has half of the Rebels' 4 hits. She hit a laser to left back in the 2nd. Her first home run as an Ole Miss Rebel, and then got a base hit and was stranded at 3rd in the 4th. That's when the Rebels had 2 in scoring position, but could not come up with a big hit. Sykes now has brought that average up to 282 today with those 2 hits. Torrance has retired, by the way, all 5 batters that she has faced. Had a clean 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. And trying to have another one here in the 6th. Alabama will have Johnson, Pruitt, and Prangy, the top 3 in their batting order, coming to the plate in the top of the 7th. As the Crimson Tide will look for some insurance. They lead it 4-1 though right now. Going for the sweep in the final series of the regular season. There's a liner to left center field, and Savannah Sykes now 3 for 3. And that extends this bottom of the 6th.
Savannah Sykes has been on fire today. 2 singles and a home run. Not a bad way to end her career here at Ole Miss. I should say end her career at the Ole Miss softball complex.
There you go, and there's Michaela Alley, first pitch swinging, lines to the right fielder Pruitt. 6 in the books. After this senior season, play another year.
Really?
I think that's what the quote was.
Okay.
I mean,
This
Missy
is
Dicker
the
said if you had a chance to play another year of softball back in your days at UCLA, you'd have snagged that jumped on it like a hanging curb.
Heck yeah. Why not? Got the chance. Take advantage of it.
Game that you love to play. Johnson sure loves to play, and she's been doing it at a high level. 1 for 3 today. 3 for 9 in the series. The biggest hit, obviously, was the 3-run homer yesterday in the top of the 7th. Yanks this one foul. Of course, that was Captain Obvious by Kohlmeyer. Biggest hit of the 3 hits. That changed the whole complexion yesterday. Ole Miss just 2 outs away. Caitlin Riley working on a shutout. Alabama hadn't been shut out all year. Johnson with 2 strikes on her, even with 2 on.
The coach's worst cringe moment right there. 2 strikes and give up a big hit.
Upstairs, 3-1 the count to number 88. Had some good series this year. 5 for 10 in the series against Mississippi State back in mid-April. Tied a career high with 3 hits in game 2 of that series. Had a big 3-run homer against Southern Miss back in early March. Went for 3 for 3 in the series opener against Arkansas. That was that 2-0 win in Tuscaloosa. And Allie moving to her right. Might miss the beginning of that before I get home, but I'll definitely check it out. They do such a good job. I really enjoy it. Nice, casual, relaxed studio. Kind of kick back and then breaking down softball and baseball. And now, with 1 out, Riker chasing, coming to the circle, and Jamie Traxel is going to come out and talk to her infield. How about the job that Verbush has done? She's faced 6 batters, and she's retired all 6.
Yeah, she's done a tremendous job out in the circle. Doing what she's supposed to do out there. Shutting down this Alabama offense. You never like to second guess, but it makes you wonder if maybe she shouldn't have started today. But how can you take away what Caitlin Riley did yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
She was just phenomenal.
And I'm sure Traxel was hoping for kind of the same magic
absolutely
that Murphy and Alabama received from Fouts on Friday to Saturday.
That's right.
Riley just made 1 bad pitch yesterday. That was the difference. Alabama with a 3-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Verbush has seen that earned run average now on the year lowered to 2.77. If the Rebels cannot rally in the bottom of the 7th and pull this one out, they'll be playing Tuesday night in that 12-13 game. It'll be a 7:30 start Eastern, 6:30 Central. Of course, SEC Now will get us all set at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and a fly out by Pruitt. And what do you know? Ole Miss has retired Larissa Pruitt for the first time today. She's now 3 for 4, and she's 8 for 11 now in the series.
She hit that ball well, though. Just Jayla Lassiter had a good beat on it, going to her left. Be able to snag it.
Verbush, Kamoku, and McKay will be due up in the bottom of the 7th for Ole Miss. Prangy is 1 for 3 today. I mean, she hit a rope, a frozen rope last time that was snagged by Savannah Sykes at 3rd for Ole Miss. He hit a couple home runs in the Missouri series, late March, early April. Led the team with 6 hits, 6 runs scored, and 7 ribbies in the T-Mobile Crimson Classic back in early March. She had 3 home runs and a couple doubles. 5 of the 6 hits went for extra bases. Alabama has its first base runner against Ansley Furbush here today, a 2-out walk for Prangy. And now Bailey Dowling. You get a pinch runner though. You see Patrick Murphy talking with the home plate umpire Scott Mayer, and yes, Jordan Stevens, the sophomore outfielder, will run for Prangy.
Now batting the designated player, number 7, Bailey Dowling.
Stevens out of Tampa, Florida. Made 13 starts this year for Alabama. He had a couple hits during that T-Mobile Crimson Classic. Drove in 3, including the game-ending run. That was Montana Fout's first perfect game this year. We saw her second on Friday night. Here's Dowling at the plate. 1 for 3 today, and even 300 on the year. Fly ball, left center field. Whitley cruises and takes. Helping girls live the dream. You lived it, Missy.
Yep. Well, I think that's great. It's so important for the women in our sport to, when they get done with their careers, or that they can give back to the younger generation. Their sport has grown so much, and so it's so important.
Torrance trying to finish the deal. There's a drive to deep center field, and it's gone. Furbush absolutely unloads on that Torrance pitch. That was a rocket to center, and it's 4-2.
It sure was. And Kristen White gave another effort to try and snag that ball away and steal another home run, but not this time. Ansley Furbush, what a pretty swing, and just drives this ball out to dead center field.
Yeah, White almost got it. That's why I almost had to pause a little bit on the call, because she's done it before. Furbush, though, her 6th home run of the season. And it's now 4-2. Kamoku. That one is a foul ball. Pruitt gave chase, couldn't quite catch up to it. Kayla now hitting at .295. Kamoku came into this series on a tear, hitting almost .380 in the last 13 games. But Alabama pitching has kept her quiet, 0 for 6, although she had a home run robbed by Kristen White in the 2nd inning. Looked like Kamoku had herself her 7th home run of the season. If Kamoku can reach, Jamie McKay will come to the plate, and that would be the tying run. Of course, Alabama needs to win today, and either an Auburn or an Arkansas loss. Well, Auburn already beat Mississippi State, so now they're hoping that Arkansas loses, but right now Arkansas leads 2-1 in the 3rd. There's a fly to deep center field. This one's way out of here for Kamoku. She dials long distance, and it's now 4-3. The Rebels are back to within 1 thanks to back-to-back jacks.
Wow. How about that? Kayla Kamoku gets a home run stolen by Kristen White in the 1st inning at the center field fence, and now there is no doubt on this one. And her family, check them out. They are celebrating. And why not? That was a no-doubter.
Parents, grandparents, brothers, sister. Yeah, they're going berserk.
To Alabama.
Here's Jamie McKay against Fouts. So some impressive numbers by Fouts, what she's done in SEC play this year especially. ERA just over 1 in 112, almost 113 innings.
Well, she didn't waste any time getting strikes. She's Went right after McKay with that first pitch.
Well, she's going to keep it around the zone, that's for sure. She doesn't walk many. Swing and a miss. Fouts just in this series, 13 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 15 strikeouts, 0 walks. Threw 67 pitches on Friday night, 97 yesterday. Upstairs.
Well, she's definitely the workhorse, and we're going to see her be the workhorse from here on out, I'm sure.
2-2 to McKay. Staying alive. Coach Murphy was asked the challenge of Fouts starting back-to-back games. She's done it really well. They did it a couple times in the preseason, even in the SEC, throwing back-to-back games. She was so economical, though, on Friday night, only 67 pitches. 1 inning was just 4 pitches. McKay got jammed, and she is retired by Cahalan for the first out.
Top of the order for the Rebels, now batting the center fielder.
Fouts now 2 outs away from trying to get a save. She's got 4 so far this year. The next out that she receives, it'll be an even 200 innings pitched on the year. Now, Patrick Murphy, another conversation with our home plate umpire, Scott Mayer. Jayla Lassiter, 0 for 3 today. She did reach on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. She is the tying run at the plate for Ole Miss. Two for 8 in the series for Lassiter. Showing bunt, laid down a beauty, and there's no chance to get Jayla Lassiter. Steve kills, Missy.
Absolutely, and we saw her do that yesterday, get the rally started for Ole Miss, laying down a bunt. Here, no communication between catcher Marley Giles and first base person Emma Broadfoot. Have a little bit of a collision there. But either way, I think Jayla Lassiter is safe.
Oh, yeah.
On that pretty bunt down the first base line.
And here's Tate Whitley.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Tate Whitley.
You can definitely feel the tension in the air. Whitley tried to bunt her way on.
Whitley trying to move Jayla Lassiter over and put a runner in scoring position for Ole Miss.
Remember, it was Lassiter's bunt single that was the first hit against Fouts on the weekend. He did that yesterday. Bunt single now puts the winning run at the plate now in Tate Whitley. One and two the count. Some big swings here in the bottom of the 7th by Furbush and Kamoku. Back-to-back homers. Cut it to 4-3. Murphy goes to Fouts, gets the ground out against McKay, and then Lassiter with the bunt single. And here's Whitley, 1 and 2 the count. Whitley bounces one to Broadfoot. The throw to second is not in time. They tried to get the force. Not sure if that was the right play for Broadfoot.
Yeah, just not a smart decision by Broadfoot. She should have just gotten the out at first base to make it 2 outs in the inning, but there was no way for, and I think Cahalan was trying to wave her off and tell her to get the out at first, but not in enough time. Now you got runners at first and second for Ole Miss, and Paige Smith up to bat.
9 home runs this year, the majority of those in SEC play. Do we have a walk-off for Paige Smith in the near future? A called strike, 1-1 the count. You've got Lassiter with some great wheels out at second. Whitley also some nice speed at first.
Well, you know a base hit here is going to tie the ball game.
Popped up over our heads. Paige Smith against Montana Fouts. Nice job by Giles. Making sure that didn't get past her. That would have put 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. Smith has driven in 37. And you can add to that total there. A base hit up the middle. Lassiter will score. And we're tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 7th.
What a clutch hit by Paige Smith. This ball a little bit up in the zone, but she takes it and drives it right back up the middle. And as I said, a base hit is going to tie this ball game. Great job by Paige Smith. The runner is still first and second, 1 out.
And Stevenson coming to the plate. I think we're going to have a pinch runner for Paige Smith. Yes, we will. That's going to be Tenley Grisham. Another one of those freshmen for Ole Miss. So Grisham running for Smith at first. Crowd obviously big time into it.
Another base hit here. Could give Ole Miss the game.
Stevenson at the plate. She's due 0 for 3 today. 3 ground outs on the infield and 0 for 8 in the series. And there it goes, and it's going to be a walk-off for Maya Stevenson on senior weekend. And the Rebels rally and knock off Alabama with a 4 spot in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stevenson driving in Whitley for the game-winning run.
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned on so wide. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical effect going with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical effect going with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I never want to leave you at any cost. I have given all my efforts to be with you. I pray that you stay by my side and keep my promises. You are the best part of my life. You will fill my life so my love and heart with internal happiness. Imagining my life without you seems impossible now. I'm fortunate that I have for you. I never want to leave you at any cost. I have given all my efforts to be with you. I pray that you stay by my side and keep my promises. You are the best part of my life. You will fill my life so my love and heart with internal happiness. Imagining my life